Gordon's good, but he's not gonna put you over the top. It has to be. I mean, the way that they're and Boogie's good, but Boogie's still this is still his first season back. He looks slimmer. He's a different body. He's still getting adjusted. So they're not gonna do. They're not gonna win without James Harden, and he doesn't want to be there. So unless you want to salvage this season, if you want to salvage this season, you got to get rid of James Harden. If you don't, if you just want to play it out because you still have him under contract, you still want to get your money's worth because you're paying him anyways, and just suffer for the season and keep him on the team. But you guys are not going to win games. You might be in the play-in game by accident. Probably not. You'll probably miss it, especially if James Harden. I mean, because it doesn't seem like he even cares that they're losing games. Because you would see a little more effort. He doesn't even try to score the way he usually does. So if you want to miss the playoffs, then keep James Harden on there. But enough of the Rockets. The Lakers came out like they were out for revenge from the last time they saw them. That little ejection stuff was going on. Boogie was getting aggressive. It was just a little over the top, and it looked like they were coming out for blood to make a statement. And they did. The first quarter, they outscored the Rockets 35-14. Out the gun. After the first quarter, I said, "Oh, the game is over." I could just tell. You could just tell the game was over. And then, they were just powering. Powering through the game. Defense turned into fast breaks. They were playing fast-paced ball. That's probably the fastest I've seen them play all season so far. They were getting open shots, making open shots, attacking, kicking. Braun had that little Steph tribute turnaround three. That was icy though. I ain't gonna lie. I was watching it. I said, "Hold up." He put it up. He turned around. I said, "Wait a minute. Did he just hit the Steph?" He did. It was slick. So I like that. I did like that. He shouldn't make a habit of it though, because he had a couple of possessions later, he had another corner three, same spot, and I thought he was gonna try to turn around, but he didn't, and he shouldn't have because it was a brick. So don't make a habit of it. But it was a good shot. I liked it. I did like to see that. And like I said, for the Rockets, they're so ISO centric in their offense. They don't run any offense at all. No motion. They really don't do screen and rolls. They don't do no two games. They don't do nothing. I think Silas, the coach, said they play a 5-out or 4-out, 1-in, and they just go and they just attack the ball, get to your spots and do your thing. But that's not going to be effective. They've tried that for years and years and years with D'Antoni there, and they just said, "Okay, James, go to work. Gordon, you can go to work. Whoever else we had, go to work," and it just never worked. So I don't know what the Rockets are doing. They really need to. They just need to pay out Harden. I guess you can. If John Wall really wants to play, and it looks like he does want to play because he's had some good games, I would just go ahead and go along with, see what you can get for Harden, and try to put Boogie, Cousins, and Christian Wood, and just let them play and see what you get, because James Harden is not the answer for you this year, and he doesn't want to be there, so you got to get rid of him. But LeBron had the best game of that game. 26, 8, and 5. They won 117-100. They just got it. They got to change. The Rockets got to change. The Lakers are looking pretty good. Only thing I'd say about the Lakers, not this game because they were out for blood, but a couple other games I saw them start slow and then try to hit the switch and turn it on in the second half. But last night they came to play. So well done for the Lakers. Next game we got the Spurs Thunder. I thought OKC would win this game actually. They ended up losing 112-102. Lonnie Walker had 24, 3 and 2. They these teams were so similar because they're coached well. They play team ball. There's no real alpha guy, but they both have their go-to guys. The Spurs might have two depending on the night, DeRozan or LaMarcus. But and then for the Thunder, you got Shea Alexander, of course, but there's a couple of younger guys that are kind of stepping up. I like Dort, but they're pretty similar teams in their style of play. They don't really try to beat themselves too much. But last night, the Spurs shot slightly better from three. They both were awful from three, 26% and 28%. They were awful from three. But the Spurs are better from the free throw line. That'll win the game for you, especially in a close game like this. And they just this is one of those games where their teams are so similar that it's hard to really decipher what went wrong with the team that lost. Really, just when it came down to it, the Spurs just played a little bit better of a game. Um, without DeRozan, they had a couple guys step up. Like I said, Walker was the game of the night, game ball. So for the Spurs looking forward, that's good that you have other people that can step up. When your star is not there, not playing, or he's in the game and he's just not showing up, or he is showing up, and then now you have more firepower. But for me, it was a really close game. It was a give and take game. But the Spurs just shot slightly better from the free throw line, slightly better from three, and that'll give you the 10-point win. So, Spurs took that game 112 to 102. And then the game I thought was a very interesting game. I'm sure you guys know I always watch these games very closely because we got the GOAT on the team. But no Victor Oladipo for the Pacers. No Clay for the Warriors, of course, we know that. And it was a very interesting game. So the game started, both teams were playing very, very good defense to start the game. The Pacers were playing well, getting stops. I mean, for the first 5 minutes of the game, no one was really scoring because they were just getting stop after stop after stop on both sides of the floor. They both are very good defensive teams when they're locked in. But the Warriors were moving on a string through the second quarter. They outscored the Pacers in the first, got outscored in the second, and got outscored in the third. They started to the start of the second half. They only had 4 turnovers. In the second half, I think they had 8 or 9 turnovers just in the second half, and that for me was really the difference in the game, in the ball game. They got to be able to take care of the ball like they did in the first half because they were able to control the game more. When you don't give, especially when they're playing great defense like the way they were, you can't give the Pacers extra chances at the bucket, and they did. They were shooting very well though. Andrew Wiggins played better than usual. For me, I mean, usually like I said, he's not a superstar to me, but he's not bad. He's like a little better than average. He's probably the best average player, if that makes any sense at all. Curry played decent. He wasn't really shooting well to start the game. He hit a couple in the second half in the fourth quarter. They tried to make a little surge, but it just wasn't really enough. The Pacers went on a little run to end the game, and that was really that was really it. It was a nip and tuck game until the fourth quarter, and it was all about who can make the last run. And the Pacers played very well in the last 2 minutes of the game. They closed out well. Um, they stopped the Warriors from scoring. They came down, scored, and then they got another stop, and it was really over after that. For me, the biggest thing is when I look at the Warriors, Wiseman is so crucial to their success. He has 4 fouls, or 5 fouls actually, um, early in the game. He had 4 fouls early in the game. He had to sit out for a while, and they really only have two bigs. It's him and Kevon Looney. So when you only have two bigs, especially going against a team that has another two bigs that are very good, Sabonis and Miles Turner, you can't afford to lose one of your bigs. It's just not going to be a good thing. Because Wiseman was controlling the boards, he was running fast breaks, uh, basket to basket, he was rim running. They were, I mean, he's very important to them for pick and roll situations. Draymond loves that little attack and float up to him. He's just such a good piece, and he was out for a while, and they definitely took advantage. He goes out, and Sabonis pretty much had like 10 or 12 straight points on Kevon Looney. They were targeting him because they knew that he couldn't afford to foul. You only have two bigs, so when one goes out, you can't afford to foul. You had to play it smart, so Sabonis was taking advantage of it. And it was a good game, but the Pacers just had a one more run more than the Warriors did, and the one run that they had was a closeout run, so it came at the right time. Um, Turner is really good, leads the league in blocks. He's like 4 or 5 blocks a game, which is like crazy. Last night he blocked. I'm pretty sure he had like 3 blocks in the same sequence. He's a monster, and he's hitting threes. I know he can hit the three. We'll give him those most of the time. He can hit them though, and last night he hit them at the right times. They were crucial threes. I think he had 1 or 2 threes in the fourth when they really needed it. So he had the game ball last night, 22, 11, and 2. But for the Golden State Warriors, it's just so amazing that they play so well, and Steph still ends up. He had 20 points, and they double and triple team Steph on almost every play. They are playing a zone, a